Hi, hello, and welcome. I am definitely not Lad, and you're watching me pug my way to 2.8k rating on a fresh new account. We're gonna start this episode off by going and doing 5 heroic dungeons to get my little weekly quest done. There might be time walking going, I'll take a look at that, and maybe do 5 time walking dungeons. I'm gonna edit through that super quick because I don't think that's interesting anymore. I've done plenty of that content. And then I'm going to go and do Normal Aberrus, one quick clear, hopefully a quick clear. And once I get all of those, hopefully, loot upgrades from doing that content, I'm going to go ahead and get into some Mythic Plus. Before I go do any of my weekly stuff for gear, I'm going to actually point out that I need to open the vault, and I'm also going to point out that there's something in the bottom left corner of the screen now, which is my rating and my best clear of any dungeon. The reason that's there is because I've seen some people say some really nasty shit in the chat, and I really don't want that showing up on my YouTube and getting some sort of repercussions because of it. But before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and open my Great Vault. I'm going to set my loot spec to Feral because there's more offensive trinkets that I want than there is defensive trinkets that I want, especially from the raid. So I'm just going to stick to Feral and let's see if we get anything good from the vault. Okay, so the best piece of loot that I got from the vault would basically be these pants because I've taken a look at the top performing druids in Mythic Plus, and all of them, not all of them, sorry, most of them use everything except for the headpiece from the tier set to get the 4 set bonus. And it's also haste versatility. The helmet is, I believe, yeah, crit haste. So haste is good, but it has more crit than haste, so I would prefer to have these rather than the helmet. And then for the helmet, I can get something that does give me haste and versatility or haste and mastery, because from what I've seen, people seem to be focusing haste is the top priority, then versatility and mastery are about the same. Preferably, you would have versatility. Out of all of these, the biggest upgrade seems to be the pants. The cloak would also be the biggest item level upgrade, but I think the pants are more important. Actually, no, the pants are the biggest item level upgrade overall. So I think I'm going to go for the pants. An alternative to the pants would be grabbing the 6 tokens, because then I can put a whatchamacallit, a socket onto a belt that I could craft. Because I could craft myself a belt, because I do have some worm shadow flame crests that I can turn into a thingy thing. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the pants, and then I can replace the helmet at some point with something that's got better stats for me. And we got a Freehold 13. Very nice. Quickly transmog that to make sure that it fits the set. Very nice. Oh wow, Khazra doesn't have any quests for us. I guess we're gonna have to do just the 5 heroic dungeons to get 1 champion piece. Hopefully we get something we don't already have at champion tier. We're gonna grab the quest here, and we're going to queue up for a random Dragonflight heroic dungeon. This was another quick one. I actually forgot to press the record button. I need to adjust some of my DBM sounds. This pop-up sound should not be this loud. Another one bites to dust. Alright, we blasted through those. We had a nice little pre-made group that we kept going. There was an evoker that was blasting, and for a few of the dungeons there was also a monk that was doing really well. Let's see what we get. Oh, I need to pick the box. Please give me something I don't already have as a champion piece. Poop! And we got a belt! No way, dude! I actually needed a belt. Oh, dude, and it's got haste mastery? That's awesome. So after the 5 heroic dungeons, we are sitting at 421 item level. That's from the other items that we've gotten from the raid before and from some upgrades that we did. We have 134 Flightstones. Let's see if we can upgrade something. Let's upgrade the gloves. And we gotta make sure we transmog that belt now that we have a new one. Okay, so next up, we're gonna try and find a normal Dragonflight Aberrus raid. Hopefully this time we're able to find a group that's going to do all 9 of the bosses and we can stick around for all of them instead of having to do it in 2 parts. That would kind of suck. Absolutely blasted this boss. Okie dokie. That was a very, very clean Ziskaran kill that we had. Other tank was doing really, really well. Yeah, we had a 1 puller on Sarkareth normal. Pretty happy with that. Very nice. So from this raid, basically all that I got was a bunch of Flightstones and a bunch of Drake Shadowflame Crest fragments. I'm going to use the Flightstones to upgrade something that takes the Drake fragments because I want to use my Worm's Shadowflame Crests to craft 437 gear. Can actually get 9 item levels on my belt. That's pretty good. And now it's time for some Mythic Plus. We're going to do this plus 13 Freehold with Fortified and Afflicted. Alright, we're getting ready to do, what's this thing called? Freehold at plus 13 with Afflicted. Afflicted, basically, a lot of people have a misconception about it. They think they are forced to always heal them the full. What you can do instead is you can just use a disease removal or a, whatchamacallit. I'm gonna have to actually pop cooldowns and focus here for a second because it's fortified. But yeah, you need to use disease, poison, or what is that thing called? Curse removal on them, and you'll be able to instantly remove them instead of having to whatchamacallit, instead of having to heal them the full. Sorry, I was really focusing on surviving there because that pull is pretty brutal on the tank. But yeah, that's it with Afflicted. Basically, that's the whole deal. That's what they do, is you have to dispel them. So it's, like I said, it's poison, poison removal, curse removal, or disease removal, and you're able to make them disappear instantly. You don't have to actually heal them the full. All you have to do is whatchamacallit, remove those. Sorry, I'm really stuttering a lot here because I'm trying to focus on doing two different things, which is explain Afflicted and also do this at the same time. So far the group seems to be handling Afflicted quite well. I'm just going to pull this next group. There's a little bit of extra trash there. I'm going to use Survivalistics and Barkskin here. It's actually pretty intensive to tank because you have to actually keep defensives rolling constantly. Somehow we've pulled extra. This is probably a wipe, so I'm not 100% sure on what that is. Reset. We're going to reset that quick. Might be judgment hitting enemies. Bugged out. Hits things not in combat.
Watch your step.
Happens to me a lot. Okay, so I think what happened there was the paladin used his judgment when there were enemies near enough for them to be targeted by the AoE aspect of it, which it hits a multiple number of enemies near the near the target that you're hitting with your judgment, and it's one of the few abilities left in the game where it can actually go off on there's an Afflicted, it's being healed. Okay, good. I was moving towards the Afflicted to make people notice the Afflicted. Because what the Afflicted does, if you don't remove it, by the way, you can heal it to full or do the things that I said before. What it does, basically, it reduces everyone's haste by a lot. And that can actually be fatal, because it affects how quickly you can use your abilities as well, because it affects the global cooldown, because, you know, haste. Okay, we're bloodlusting the boss, not the first pull. I should have probably said what people should do, but it is a relatively low key, so it doesn't really matter where they use their bloodlust. It's not going to affect the outcome of the dungeon. Okay, perfect. We phased him into phase 2 while standing right here. We're going to slightly move him so people don't have to stand in that poison at all. The reason we want him to go into phase 2 here is because the bird then always goes over here and goes through the middle of the room and makes it very easy for the ranged to stay safe. I am going to move him just a little bit so that there's more space for the melee. Okay, we're getting rid of these Afflicted very, very nicely. Quite happy about that. That's it, now it's a tank and spank boss. We use a defensive, or sorry, a self-heal there. Use another one. Trying to use them, but I keep using my globals for other things. And there we go. I think the Afflicted go away instantly. No, they don't. We're healing that. Very good. Let's see if the hunter does the reset. Is he going to do the reset? He's not going to do the reset. What you can do... The healer says, damn, you made my life easy. You don't see it in chat because I've covered it up because there were a lot of people saying very nasty things in chat. But I think he's referring to the fact that I told him that you can actually just use the poison removal thing on the Afflicted. Or the disease removal that priests have in their specific case. Gonna wait for them to finish that before I pull anything over here. Okay, let's see if we can heal that up. Very nice. This also worked out because that let the trapper patrol away from us, which is what we want. We don't want to pull that trapper. We're going to use our incapacitating roar. This brute is not staying on me because the paladin popped everything under the sun, used all his cooldowns, so it's hard to keep aggro. Okay. Going to knock back the duelist once he casts his thingy. There we go. We're going to knock him into the wall so that we don't have to actually worry about him being too far so people can keep cleaving. Somebody got knocked up and ended up on the ceiling. Okay. We are going to pull that trapper. We're going to pull the swabby, this, and this group. Now hopefully they don't blast everything. I'm going to use a lot of cooldowns here. I don't care about standing in these traps, so I'm just going to stand right on top of them. Reason being, druids do not get trapped if they stand in that. That is an earth elemental totem that taunted everything off of me. That scared the crap out of me. I was like, damn, this paladin's really pumping. But no, it's not the paladin. It's the earth elemental totem taunting off me. It scared me a little bit. We're going to grab up all these traps. Okay. I got stunned because I jumped. Because I was affected by the Bildrat swabby thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. Okay, pull these two groups, pop some cooldowns, bark skin, and thingy thing. We're looking at the casters. We're going to move the group because we've had a binding shot down from the hunter. So we want to utilize that. Very nice, we got AoE CC. I'm going to use my AoE CC here. There I saw some uninterruptible cast bars. Harpooners are really the dangerous mobs here because they can pull people into that AoE. So I gotta make sure when the thing's spinning that I move them out of, that I move the harpooners out. I can actually soothe that rage. Standing up here to make people notice this. Very good. And we're gonna finish that off. Cool, we're gonna go and pull the boss. There we go. Start off with a bark skin. It's fortified, so I don't have to worry too much about boss damage. Danger, danger. We're gonna give people movement speed because people are stuck on the wrong side of the room. Okay. Stand in this buff. I didn't get the buff, unfortunate. We have a paladin. Let's see if he does Hand of Freedom on people. I accidentally moved the boss into the buff, but I got the buff, so I'm cool with that. We have a trap over there. I'm going to... Okay, I did manage to move that out. The barrel guy, I moved the barrel guy so this person in the barrel doesn't get hit by the barrel. I'm going to charge at this. Manage to time it in such a way that I don't get hit by that. I'm going to pop all my cooldowns and just do some DPS here. Just going to move the boss out of the blue circle. Got the buff from the blue circle. Very nice. So there's another blue circle. I'm going to move the bosses out of the blue circle and try to stand in it myself. Managed to get the buff. She's going to jump in 2 seconds. 1 second jumping. I'm giving people movement speed. And she should be dead before she finishes casting that. Very nice. Blackout Barrel is being cast at whom? Okay, they're going to get hit by that, but it doesn't matter because the other boss is gone. When you get hit by the barrel slam, what happens is basically you just take some AoE damage. You get knocked back, so you won't get hit by multiple shots of it. I'm going to move the boss out of the blue circle. Okay, his hitbox is weird, so I kind of struggle to move him out of it because the second I move, he starts moving as well, so... I'm going to keep him with that green thing. Okay, perfect. He's going to immobilize himself with that. So he's going to stay in the green thing himself. I'm going to keep him in the green thing again. The green thing basically just puts a dot on whoever gets hit by it, including the enemies. including the bosses. Okay, I'm gonna pull this group. I'm not gonna pull any more than this because I'm gonna move them slightly because what I want to happen is for that binding shot to go off and to stun everyone. Hopefully the harpooners, yeah, the harpoons are actually on cooldown, so the big slam doesn't matter. You can see the cooldowns right here. I don't know if you saw me point my cursor at it because my UI is a bit hectic, but I find it useful. I find like it's good. Afflicted got healed up. I don't think we had a single cast of Afflicted go off. These guys are kicking ass. I did talk to all of them to make sure that they use something for the Afflicted, so that makes the run a lot smoother, but they are really, really doing good. They're really on top of it, and I love groups like that. It makes my life so much easier. I'm going to grab all of these guys and pull them over here. I don't need to pull both of these groups. The next pull is big enough in and of itself. We're going to, okay, these guys got interrupted. I'm going to move slightly. Interrupt the frost guy, make him move over to me. That's good. Very good. I'm just focusing on keeping them CC'd. I'm going to ask the healer after this run to see if I was doing well on actually keeping myself alive on the trash packs. I feel like I haven't yo-yoed much in health because I've been on top of my cooldowns. I haven't been griefing by not using them properly. Okay. I'm going to pop everything here because this is a big juicy pull. Waiting to use my incapacitating roar on multiple casts. There we go. That's going to be very good. The hunter interrupted the frost breath thing that was happening by the water caster guy. I'm going to move them to utilize that binding shot. Very nice. The juggler also got hit by the binding shot. Very good. I'm going to start moving into this room here because I would like to utilize the time better by starting this little interaction. There we go. While these guys come over, I am nice and safe. I don't even know where that was going. Oh, I guess it was going over there. I kind of saw some of the little particles. 67%. We're going to need quite a bit more, so we're going to pull this while we wait for the piggy pig to come in. Okay, I was fricking around a bit too much there, and I got bounced down. I'm going to interrupt that and move out of the big swirly, or the big circle from the crusher. I'm going to remove the rage from that thing with my soothe. You can do that with the blind rage. As the name implies, it is a rage effect, an in-rage effect, so you can remove it with soothe. You can also CC them and they will stop. There are no harpooners in this group, so I feel pretty safe. Or at least my DPS and healer should feel pretty safe. They're not going to get pulled in. Specifically the hunter and the healer. As they are ranged, the other two people are melee. Okay, 76%. We're going to need the other crusher. I'm going to quickly try and grab the piggy pig. Ooh, we almost got the piggy. Can we get the piggy while we're fighting the crusher? Let's try and get the piggy while we're fighting. Oh, hey. I think Jabok got it. Who is that? No, it's the hunter. What's his name? Colonoscopy. Reminds me of the word colonoscopy. Probably not accidental. Okay. So by the time we finish up with this crusher, we're going to be able to fight, what's his face? Ludwig von Tortolan. And, okay, I'm actually going to pull them together. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. People should finish off the crusher pretty quickly. There we go. And now we can fight Ludwig von Tortolan. His shell one-shots unfortified, so you really want to be careful not to stand in the middle. Ideally, you would stand like off to the side, there or there, because the shells keep going through the middle. Well, it doesn't one-shot on 13, but if you get hit by it 2 times, you can see that the paladin got pretty low and he has 517k hit points. You can imagine on an actual super difficult key, like a 20 or something, that would probably be a one-shot. Maybe not on a 20, but it would definitely not be easier than this. The reason he's so dangerous on Fortified is because he's considered to be trash. He is basically a mini-boss, so I think he gives something along the lines of 4%, so we'll be at 82%. But while we wait for the next boss to spawn in, yeah, 82%. While we wait for the next boss to spawn in, I'm going to hit these little yellow neutral mobs. They give a little bit of percent. You can get something like 1 or 2% out of them, depending on what else you pulled. There we go. Very nice. Not sure why my guy, the paladin, used his Divine Reckoning on them. A bit overkill if you ask me. Okay, and the boss is almost here, and we're at 84%. That's more than enough to have to only clear the patrol and 2 of the 3 trash packs there at the spot where the boss is, the last boss is. Now, though that pool near the last boss, it has NPCs called officers. I'll talk more about them when I get to them, but the gist of them is they do a debuff called Oiled Blade, which is incredibly... It hits pretty hard, and it also reduces your healing taken as a tank, or, well, whoever gets hit by it. It reduces your healing taken by a good chunk. So it's... Okay, I'm gonna tank this. I'm just gonna use my Frenzied Regen to tank it. Okay, he picked that shark up. You're tanking him near blood pools so that anyone who is in melee and has a shark on them can still kite into the blood pools. With these sharks, what you want to do is you want to make sure they go into a blood pool. I'm going to slightly move the boss so that people have an easier time kiting them into the pool. Be careful when you're coming close to the edge of the arena because these spectators will throw rotten food at you to like boo at you or whatever, and that will actually cause a lot of damage. That'll do a lot of damage to you. Gonna throw out another shark over there on the range. That's fine. I don't care about the range. The melee is more critical at this point. Okay, and there we go. There's the boss. I'm gonna quickly heal this person. I'm gonna help heal the afflicted. Never mind. They got healed to full. Healer just blasting the HPS. Very nice. Every time I see these hellfires, I freak out because I think I'm gonna pull something. Coming up on this really rough pull. If the patrol is here, the patrol is here, but I'm just gonna pull it anyway. I'm going to kick this NPC. I'm gonna moonfire the patrol, moonfire this, and I'm going to pop a couple of cooldowns. I'm going to pop my damage cooldown. Okay, we have an Earth Elemental Totem helping us out, randomly tanking stuff. I'm going to use Incapacitating Roar here because I saw a couple of abilities coming off. Yeah, I want to interrupt this. Need to get dispelled. Okay, I'll move over to the ranged NPC because the rest of them are melee. Arc Skin. I'm going to knock this back because nobody's interrupting it. I need to get some rage. Okay, the priest released, but we are almost done with this group, so all is well. We had some very good DPS there, so that helped a lot with surviving this. But that was pretty rough. We're going to wait for the priest to join us. Okay, there was a body pull there because somebody was trying to be fancy. I don't have any cooldowns available, so this is kind of rough. I need to Incapacitating Roar that. I'm going to use another of my Frenzied Regens. I don't have a defensive lady, don't yell at me. Why are you bullying me? I want to interrupt that because I can't keep taking more damage. There's the Oiled Blade I was talking about. It's going to be dispelled soon, hopefully. I don't need the healing right now, so it doesn't matter if it gets dispelled or not. There we go, the dispel came through. I'm about to heal a lot, so I'm going to try and use my heal here near the thing, but it got healed before I could even heal it. There we go. Paladin body pulled. Okay, we are pretty much ready. I'm going to move the boss over here. Pre-trap ad. I asked the hunter to pre-trap the ad. There we go. He put the trap down over there. That's where the ad spawns every single time. So you, as a hunter, you want to pre-trap that. Okay, we're blasting the DPS here. We're going to get the swirlies of doom. I'm going to move the boss away from the swirlies so the melee can keep DPSing from behind the boss. Move out of the swirling swift wind tornado thingy with the stuff. Here comes the ad, instantly CC'd by the hunter. Very nice. Move my cursor so I can actually see what he's casting, what he's doing. Good chat. Nice. Just wanted to remind him, but he was already on top of it, so I just looked rude. Okay, lots of swirlies. I kind of have a safe avenue to keep him here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him here. When he gets down to the last phase, he's going to... Okay, that pre-trap did not work. Oof, Hunter got absolutely annihilated. We're going to give him a nice little battle res. I don't know what happened to his pre-trap there, but it happens to the best of us. Phase 3, when he does Whirling Daggers, I'm going to use my healing thingy thing, the Nature's Vigil, because it heals the group, and there's some AoE healing needed at that point. Whirling Daggers just went out, so I'm going to use my pre-heal. The Hunter is getting his ass kicked, and the boss is dead. There we go. Not bad at all. Pretty smooth run, and all things considered. Some blasting DPS. People were doing great on the DPS, and I got legs. 3 out of 8 champion, haste mastery. I do have legs that are tier pieces that I just got out of the vault today, so I don't really need those. There's no other leather wearers in the group though, so I guess a vendor will enjoy these. Alright, I think I'm actually not going to do any more runs other than this today. I had to spend quite a bit of time doing Normal Aberrus, so I don't really have enough time to run another dungeon. Let me actually see what key I got. If it's something super easy, oh, it's definitely not easy. It's Uldaman Legacy of Tyr, which is a nightmare on Fortified. The one specific mob that bothers me in Uldaman Legacy of Tyr is the one that does the Earthquake. There's only one of them in the entire dungeon, and he has wiped more groups than any of the bosses in that dungeon, I think. But yeah, that's something for next episode, Vlad, to worry about. But yeah, a little recap of today's episode. We went and we did 5 heroic dungeons really quick. We opened our vault, which we got legs from. Hero tier 2 out of 5. From doing the 5 heroic dungeons, we got a reward from the little chest from the quest. We got a nice belt with haste mastery. I think more mastery than haste, but still a very nice belt. Quite enjoy that. We did a full clear of Normal Aberrus. I don't think I got a single piece of loot. I got one dagger, which was like a transmog roll, but that was, I guess that was nice for the gold that it got me. What I really wanted out of Aberrus Normal was basically all of those Flightstones. We used those Flightstones to upgrade one of our items 3 times, which is quite nice. Our best clear is still the plus 13 Neltharian's Lair. If I remember correctly, that was a pretty fun run. But yeah, we're at 13k rating, imagine. What would that have to be? Like clearing 150s or something? But yeah, we're sitting at 1300 rating, 1311 rating with 421 item level. I'm going to push that up quite a lot higher when this, whatchamacallit, this week, because we'll be able to get our first clear of fortified dungeons, which will drastically increase our rating. It's not going to put us anywhere near our 2.8k goal. I think we'll start getting towards the 2.8k goal as we start getting close to the plus 20 clears on every dungeon. I believe in the next episode we're going to run some more dungeons, try and get some loot and some Flightstones, upgrade some of our gear. We're going to basically be trying to push our way to 425 item level. Once we hit 425 item level, I'm going to try and do Heroic Aberrus to maybe get some upgrades there. Get a bunch of Flightstone, get a bunch of Worm Crests. That will probably help our item level quite a bit. And once I'm very comfortable with the item level, I'll start actually pushing 17 keys. Once I push all the 17 keys, I'm going to start doing the push towards plus 20 on every key. I have no idea how long that's going to take me and how many episodes that's going to be, but hopefully you'll join me for the rest of them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.